Senator Hanson, why don't you just look at me when you're saying all these things through the chair? If that is not racist, what is it? Oh, it's not racist. Oh, somebody bring the dictionary because Senator Hanson does not know the definition of racism.
Picture this. It's the first week of October 2025. The news is going off. On Monday, it's revealed that a group of ISIS brides have smuggled themselves out of a Syrian refugee camp and are back on Australian soil. On Tuesday, Italy's new right-wing government announces a nationwide ban on the burqa. And then on Wednesday, like clockwork, Pauline Hanson drops a media release. One Nation will once again aim to introduce a ban on burqas and all other face coverings in public. And what's the reaction? Predictable, patronising, and completely out of touch. The inner city elites, the Greens, the woke mob, they all come out screaming racism and Islamophobia. They'll tell you it's a stunt. They'll tell you it's a distraction. But what if I told you that while they're lecturing you, more than 20 other countries, including Muslim-majority nations like Tunisia and Kazakhstan, have already banned the burqa for security reasons? What if I told you that the argument for a ban isn't about hate, but about a fundamental principle, that in a free and safe society, there should be one rule for everyone? No special treatment, no exceptions, and no hiding. This isn't a story about a piece of cloth. This is a story about national security in an age of terror. It's a story about the quiet erosion of our values in the face of a vocal, woke minority. And it's a story about whether we, as a nation, have the guts to stand up and say, enough is enough. In Australia, we have one law for all. It's a simple principle, but it's one that our leaders seem absolutely terrified to defend. Before we get into the guts of this, you know the drill. The mainstream media is never going to give this a fair hearing. They've already decided it's racist. They won't show you the list of countries that have already done it. They won't have an honest debate about security. That's what we do. We are the resistance. We are the ones exposing the truth, and we are funded by you. If you believe in what we do, if you've had a gut full of the lies, chuck us a few bucks on Patreon. It's the only way we can keep making these videos. Link in the description.
You are not just vindictive, mean, nasty. You bring disgrace to the human race.
All right, let's look at what Pauline Hanson is actually proposing, and let's do it without the hysterical screaming from the left. The media release from October 9th is pretty clear. One Nation wants to ban burqas and other face coverings in public settings, following the lead of a growing list of nations across the world. The arguments are simple and they are based on common sense. First, it's about security. In an age of heightened terror threats, with the government itself admitting it's repatriating extremists who fought for ISIS, the ability to identify people in public spaces is not a luxury. It's a necessity. A full face covering makes a mockery of every CCTV camera, every security checkpoint, every police officer trying to keep us safe. It is a walking, talking security loophole. Second, it's about social cohesion. A society is built on trust, and trust is built on the ability to see each other, to read facial expressions, to connect on a human level. The burqa is a deliberate barrier to that connection. It says, I will not be part of your society. I will not show you my face. It is a symbol of separation, not integration. And in a country that has welcomed people from every corner of the globe, the one thing we should be able to ask is that we can all look each other in the eye as equals. And third, it's about one single unifying rule of law. In Australia, we have a principle. You are not allowed to wear a mask in public if it's intended to conceal your identity during a crime. We apply this to bakies, to protesters, to criminals. Why should there be a special carved-out exception for one religious garment? The law should be blind. It shouldn't matter if your mask is a balaclava or a burqa. If you cover your face in public, you are a security risk. and you should be treated as such. No special deals, no religious exemptions, one law for all. The most dishonest part of the debate in Australia is the pretense that this is some radical far-right idea. It's not. It's a mainstream, common-sense security measure that has been adopted by countries all over the world. We're not leading the way here. We are lagging dangerously behind. More than 20 countries have already implemented some form of burqa ban. Let's just list a few. France, Belgium, Austria, Denmark, Bulgaria, the Netherlands, Switzerland. These are all modern, secular, Western democracies. Are they all racist? Are they all Islamophobic? Or have they just woken up to the reality of the security threat? And it's not just Europe. Even Muslim-majority countries have banned the burqa. Tunisia, Tajikistan, Kazakhstan, which just brought in a ban in July of this year. Are these countries anti-Muslim? It's an absurd argument. They have banned the burqa because they recognise it as a tool of political extremism, a security risk, and a barrier to a modern functioning society. Look at Italy just this month. Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni has proposed a nationwide ban with fines of up to €3,000. She's not some fringe lunatic. She's the democratically elected leader of a G7 nation. She's doing what the leaders of a sovereign country are supposed to do: protect their citizens and their national identity. Meanwhile, here in Australia, our politicians are too terrified of being called names by the Twitter mob to have an honest conversation. They'd rather bury their heads in the sand and hope the problem goes away. Well, it's not going away. It's getting worse. We are importing the world's problems, but we are refusing to adopt the world's solutions. We are telling ourselves that we are somehow more enlightened, more tolerant than France or Denmark or even Tunisia, when in reality we are just being naive. And every day we delay, we put ourselves, not just our security, but our very identity as a cohesive nation at greater risk. The most infuriating part of this whole debate is the staggering, breathtaking hypocrisy of the left. They will scream from the rooftops that banning the burqa is an unacceptable attack on freedom. But in the next breath, they will demand that you and your children be forced to wear a mask to go to the shops. Remember the COVID years? Remember being told that you had to cover your face, that it was your social duty? Remember the fines, the arrests, the public shaming of anyone who dared to show their face? The same people who championed that unprecedented level of government control are now clutching their pearls at the idea of a consistent, common-sense law about face coverings. And what about the other masked thugs on our streets? The neo-Nazis in Melbourne. And you'd be right. They are a menace. They should be dealt with by the full force of the law. But the answer isn't to say that because one group of extremists wears masks, we should let another group wear them too. The answer is to ban all of them. No masks for neo-Nazis, no masks for Antifa, and no masks for religious extremists. One law, no exceptions. The left doesn't actually believe in freedom. They believe in selective outrage. They will defend the right of a woman to be forced to cover her face by a patriarchal religious ideology. But they will attack your right to breathe fresh air. It's a twisted, inverted morality, and it's putting us all in danger. This isn't about targeting one community. It's about applying one standard. A standard that says, in Australia, we look each other in the eye. We are an open, free, and transparent society. And if you want to be part of it, you have to show your face. Let's be brutally honest. The argument against a burqa ban has nothing to do with genuine freedom, and everything to do with a toxic brand of identity politics that is tearing our country apart. It's the idea that every culture, every religion, must be given special treatment, special exemptions, and a special right to exist outside of Australian law and Australian values. That is a recipe for disaster. It's how you get a fractured, divided society. It's how you get no-go zones. It's how you lose the very thing that makes Australia great. The idea that we are all, first and foremost, Australians. A ban on face coverings is not an attack on Muslims. It is an attack on a political ideology that seeks to separate itself from the rest of us. It is a statement that says, in this country, we have a single secular rule of law, and it applies to everyone equally. It is a statement that says we value security over superstition. And it is a statement that says we believe women are individuals with rights and agency, not property to be hidden away. This is not a radical idea. It is a return to common sense. It is a return to the values that built this country. And it is a necessary step to protect our security and our way of life for generations to come. So when you see the predictable outrage from the usual suspects, when they call you a racist for wanting a safe and cohesive society, ask them, why do more than 20 other countries, including Muslim nations, disagree with you? Why do you support one rule for one group and another for everyone else? And why are you so afraid of an open, transparent society where we can all see each other face to face? Don't fall for their lies. Demand a government that puts the security of Australians first. Demand a media that reports the facts, not the feelings. And if you want to be part of the solution, if you want to help us keep fighting for a country with one law for all, then please consider supporting us on Patreon. Every dollar helps us fight back against the woke agenda. Let's build a movement of people who are not afraid to stand up for Australian values. To see the latest Australian crisis, click this video here.